Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. Today, I want to show you the true look of the world order and its real capital, which is located in Central Asia, Kazakhstan. Astana, a city hiding the real world order, has been a small settlement through its history, but in 1994 it was suddenly decided to move the capital of Kazakhstan from Almaty to there, and this year the massive construction of the left part of the river began. One of the most notable buildings is the so-called Palace of Peace and Accord. Shocking is reminiscent of the Masonic sign, which is also present on the seal of the United States. You can say that this is just a coincidence, but take a closer look at the symbolism. The phrase Annuit Coeptis and El Plubris Unum consists of 13 letters. The facade of the pyramid, excluding bases with a date, consists of 72 stones stacked in 13 rows. Above the eagle's head, there's also 13 stars symbolizing the 13 original states, and in his paws, he has 13 arrows and a branch with 13 leaves and berries. As dear viewers, also remember the image of the eagle as it will appear more than once. As you can see, the pyramid in Astana also consists of 25 triangles on each side and 7 rhombuses, which represent the union of two triangles. So the pyramid actually has 39 triangles on each side. If this number is divided into 3 angular triangles, then we get the number 13 again. It looks suspicious, doesn't it? The blue top of the pyramid also obviously reflects the eye, the all-seeing eye that we can see on the seal of the Masons. Let's see what's inside the pyramid. Inside the concert hall, at the very top we can see a sun symbol identical to what we can also find in a Masonic temple in London. The all-seeing eye also has the sun's rays around it and is located at the very top of the pyramid, which exactly coincides with the symbolism of the pyramid. Now let's look at this drawing showing a Masonic temple and 2 golden towers. There is an obvious analogy with a courthouse called Akkorda and the 2 golden towers in Astana. It's impossible not to see the similarity. As you can see, there is 2 towers and gold and temple, Masonic temple. As for the sun, which is located above the temple, then exactly opposite the building of the Akkorda, you will see the so-called Bayterek, which is a tree on the top of which there is a huge golden ball symbolizing the sun. Now let's take a closer look at the Bayterek. In Kazakh mythology, this is a world tree on the top of which the phoenix lays an egg symbolizing the sun every year. Every year, this egg is eaten by a huge snake. The phoenix, or the rock bird, is present in the mythologies of almost all ancient beliefs, as well as a huge snake and the borrowed tree. This bird is also represented in the symbols of the Masons and the Order of the Cross and the Rose. The eagle, the 2-headed eagle, and even the pelican are actually a modified phoenix. An attentive viewer has probably already noticed that the symbolism inherent in this myth is found in many other cultures, and may have already wondered why the city of Astana became the capital of the secret government. In order to answer this question, it's necessary to understand who the Kazakhs themselves are. The famous Kazakh scientist Kara-Zakiryanov proved that Zarathustra, the father of ancient religions, was a representative of one of the Kazakh clans. The most ancient religion, which they cultivated at home under the name Tengrianism in Persia, taking into account the mentality of the locals, became known as Zoroastrianism, says Mary Boyce, a recognized scientific authority in the field of religion from the UK, writing her works. East of the Volga, in the Kazakh steppes, it's necessary to look for the origins of Zoroastrianism. She claims that Zarathustra, or in Kazakh, Zaratushi, the creator, the founder of this religion, was born in the vicinity of modern Ralsk. The legend of Adam and Eve also originates from Kazakhstan. Baghdad Beysenov, doctor of philosophy, stated that Adam and Eve spoke Kazakh. He justified this by the fact that Kazakhstan is the birthplace of apples. The word apple, alma in Kazakh, in the Kazakh language sound the same as do not take, and the word Adam in Kazakh means man, and Jesus, from whom Christianity originates, was originally born in Kazakh family. We will talk about it later. Kazakh are an ancient nomadic people, and it's not surprising that they spread their culture around the world and assimilated into many lands. This probably happened during the Great Migration of peoples, as we have many different testimonies. However, it's obvious that over time, under the influence of local specifics, the regional legends were modified, and so, for example, the legend of the phoenix in Rome acquired a different form, Baytrak turned into Yggdrasil, and the serpent became Quetzalcoatl in the American culture. Kazakhs are obviously the forefathers of the entire cultural code of mankind, but who are they in their original essence? The famous spiritualist artist Sergei Maslov at the end of the last century, just during the creation of the modern Masonic capital, received a revelation in his dreams about where the Kazakh actually came from. Sergei Maslov claimed that the Kazakh originated in space and flew to Earth on their spacecraft called Yurt, which suspiciously resembled the nose of modern space rockets. Kazakh believed in the sky, or they call it Tengri, actually implies a love for space, the true homeland of these people. Obviously, such dangerous thoughts that matured in Maslov could not remain without the attention of the powerful rulers of the world. They decided to quickly eliminate Maslov at the beginning of the 21st century and never let him finish his book Space Nomads, in which he intended to tell about the real history of the world. And Maslov himself and his work were exposed as a performance by a madman. But who are these rulers of the world? Freemasons, Rosencreuzers, and so on? Well, the now dead Professor Rybkin, at the end of the last century, apparently also killed by agents of the world government, studying the works of Marcel Griol about the Dagon tribe and Tet mushrooms. This is the Marcel Griol. His theory comes from a complex problem of consciousness and has existed for many millennia. Summarizing his work, even before the appearance of the Kazakhs, a unique species was born on Earth: humanity. Humanity with the ability to imitate the work of the great consciousness, the so-called prince, after which he himself begins to exist through the prism of humanity. By itself, humanity is not a source of consciousness, but only its carrier, being in a parasitic relationship with it. The result of the prince's thought processes gave rise to the so-called noosphere, and its inhabitants, powerful dwellers, are a product of our beliefs and are to exert a significant influence on people. So the first gods, the inhabitants of the noosphere dwellers, were born. The primary gods, whom we can also call Paragon or Chthonic, were obviously dissatisfied with the fact that at length the cosmic people began to spread new knowledge in the human world, and this invariably created competitor for them. From that moment, the confrontation between Tengrianism and Chthonic beliefs began. However, 2,000 years ago, one of the ideological leaders of the Kazakhs, known as Jesus Christ, was killed by agents of the new inhabitants and exalted as a new dweller. On its basis, a new belief, Christianity, and its elitist form, Freemasonry, were subsequently founded, and this is how the secret government was born. Further events make the gradual extermination of the original culture and its replacement with promoted Masonic images. Every time the old faith died, a new one took its places, and in our time, secret government continues to create various conspiracies, such as UFOs and crop circles, in order to control mass consciousness, while Tengrianism is trying to free people from worshipping false gods created by the great consciousness. The rulers themselves, having seized control over people, continue to stretch strengthen their power, and for this they commissioned the creation of a symbolic capital of Freemasonry on the lands of all enemies. Nursultan Abishevich Nazarbayev, the former president of Kazakhstan, is one of the Freemasons and a traitor to the true knowledge of freedom, Tengrianism. So, if you want to know the true history of your land, of our earth, as well as the Kazakh people, which is now subordinate to the secret government, join our brotherhood of real Tengrianism, pure from the disease of the dwellers, to pay the entrance fee, write to this address, and buy my full set of lectures on the real history of the world. Thank you for your attention. I will see you in our brotherhood.